We believe it is our mission to protect and care for people and their environment every day. Pioneering future-focused cleaning and hygiene solutions. Trust the experts to select the best hygiene technology matching your site's challenges and your sustainability vision. Diversey, your global partner for responsible hygiene solutions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful new show on a new day of the second week of season 4. We're today already into the 7th episode and soon 8, and we close the week later this evening. My sincere thanks to Diversey, our valued partner, for powering these leadership conversations season after season. Season 4 carries a very powerful overarching theme: India at the hospitality inflection point, redefining excellence across every stay segment. This season marks a shift from geography-led discussions to category-driven leadership dialogues, and I'm delighted to share that we've opened the season 4 with very strong viewership numbers as yet. Thank you to our growing audience across India and beyond. In today's episode, we explore reimagining Indian luxury, the new codes of grandeur. Indian luxury, very frankly, is evolving, and it is no longer defined only by scale or sparkle, but by experiences, emotion, leadership, discipline, and operational excellence. Joining me today are 6 exceptional general managers who are actively shaping this new luxury narrative across metros, business hubs, and emerging destinations. 2 of them are opening brilliant new properties, and we shall hear more from them. I'll get them to speak about it. Without much ado, let's begin the show, and permit me to introduce these 6 stars. First in, off the blocks, all the way from Hyderabad, is Jitendra Singh Taak, who's the general manager of the ITC Kohenur in Hyderabad. Welcome to the show, Jitendra.
Hi, Bhuvanesh. Good to be here. Thank you.
Such a pleasure having you here, Jitendra. Back again. Next in is Sujeet Kumar, who's the cluster general manager of the Hilton Bengaluru Embassy Manyata. He's got 2 hotels under his command, and he moves in all the way from Colombo very recently after opening a fantastic ITC Ratnadeepa there. Welcome to the show, Sujeet, our first one together.
Thanks, Bhuvanesh. Thanks for having me. Great to connect.
Such a pleasure having you here. Manish, Dayya, Goa boy, who's moved in from the Sofitel, Mumbai to Delhi, and he lords over the Pullman, New Delhi Aerocity, and Novotel, New Delhi Aerocity. He's the general manager there. Welcome again to the show, Manish.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh, and good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Manish. Now he circles back to Delhi from Bangalore, where he headed the Sheraton in Whitefield. Sanjay Gupta is the general manager of the soon-to-open Marriott Marquis Aerocity. We'll talk more about it. It's a grand new hotel which is coming up. One of the biggest, the largest inventory, and I'll let Sanjay do the talking when we open the show. Welcome to the show, Sanjay.
Bhuvi, thank you so very much. It's absolute pleasure to be on your show again and again. And thank you for such a good welcome for me in Delhi back again.
Thank you so much.
Speaking to everybody. Thanks.
Pleasure, Sanjay. Next in is Puneet Baijal, who's the general manager again of the soon to reopen Hyatt Regency in Mumbai. He moves in from Ahmedabad, Delhi boy in Ahmedabad, now in Mumbai. We shall hear more about this new asset that is going to come on the horizon. Welcome to the show, Puneet.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh, and good evening, everybody. I think it's an honor, alongside all of you stalwarts, to be on this show. And what a great show. I've watched the last 6 episodes and phenomenal. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet. Those are very kind words and they encourage us to do more. Last but not the least, in his second show with us, Sathya Narayanan, he's the general manager of the Radisson Blu Chennai City Center. Welcome to the show, Sathya.
Hi, good evening, Bhuvanesh, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show, and good to be among the stalwarts of our industry. Thank you.
It's a beautiful industry. It's small, compact, and what it does for the country and the economy is a lot. It's one of the biggest employment creators along with F&B, right? And it gives great careers. Without much ado, let me get cracking with your permission with the first question. We're already at 4:06, and let's begin and hear you out. Jitendra, may I get rolling with you with your permission?
Oh, certainly, sir.
All right. Tell me about ITC Kohenur. Who doesn't know about it? All right. It is amongst Hyderabad's highest grossing hotels with a massive F&B footprint. How are you redefining grandeur through food experiences and revenue diversity? Let's hear in your own words. Give us a good account.
Good afternoon, everyone. I must begin with thanking Mr. Khanna and the entire team at the BW Hotelier for putting together such a meaningful platform for the hospitality leadership to share their thoughts and ideas. There's a lot of shared learning going on, and I'm sure these interactions are like a lot of inspirations for the fraternity, which is working 360 degrees on the shop floor. So thank you so much for that. And moving on to the topic of discussion. So for us at ITC Kohenur, I think it's the food which is the most honest expression of luxury and grandeur. We are in the city of Hyderabad, and food in Hyderabad is an emotion. And I'm glad that food and beverage canvas of ITC Kohenur is able to connect with the city audience. We are able to connect with that emotion. So our food and beverage story is a perfect blend of legacy and modern cuisines. On one side, we have brands like Peshawari and Dampokht, which celebrate the ITC's deep Indian culinary heritage. And on the other side, we have global flair that comes across through Yijing with Chinese flavors and Ottimo, which serves Italian fare. So each of these restaurants are designed to be a destination, which has its own personality, it has its own narrative, it has its own fan base. For example, Dampukht. Now, Dampukht at Hyderabad is not just called Dampukht, it's called Dampukht Begums. It's our tribute to the city of Hyderabad. Now, this restaurant is a showcase of signature Hyderabadi repertoire, which is inspired from the royal kitchens, which were actually way back being run and managed by the Begums of the Nizams in the city. So the entire experience, from the slow cooking techniques to the royal recipes to the service rituals, they come out like a storytelling on the dining table at this restaurant, and so are all these restaurants. So food and beverage department in our hotel is not just a department, it's like a series of destinations which people fall in love with and keep returning to. So this is like our definition of grandeur when it comes to luxury footprint. I would also like to touch upon the revenue diversity of the hotel. We have a very clear strategy. We focus on T RevPAR rather than focusing on only the room RevPAR. We try to maintain a good balance of 60% coming from rooms and 40% coming from food and beverage and other ancillary revenues. Now, interestingly, over the last 2 years, there has been a robust focus on unlocking new revenue pools across the hotel and creating incremental revenue. For example, we have recategorized our 2 BHK apartments, which were not so much in demand, while suites are very high in demand and selling at high ADR. You know the ADRs going on in Hyderabad. So this simple initiative of doing soft refurbishment of these apartments has increased the ADR by 4 times from the same rooms in just 1 year. Dampukht, as you know, is very high in demand. There was queue in front of Dampukht all the time. So we increased the number of covers in Dampukht by extending it towards the al fresco area, added the capacity. Poolside is a trend in Hyderabad. People love to dine in open air. So we have also opened a new F&B outlet called Sunset Stories by the poolside, where we serve curated meals along with trending cocktails. Sleep Boutique, you're all aware of. We are also opening a new outdoor catering cell, and the list goes on and on. So all these strategies augment our TRevPAR strategy of the hotel, and these initiatives keep us agile and future ready. Thank you.
You know, I've unfortunately not been able to visit the Kohenur. Last time I wanted to be there, you were traveling. You were on a flight to Delhi while I was coming. You know, tell us a bit about this facade that we see behind you. If you just move on to a side, let's have a good feel of this facade and tell us more.
So this facade is basically an architectural delight. It tapers from top to bottom, and it's actually a very sustainable design. The way the architect has created it, it saves on a lot of air conditioning. The hotel has 80% areas which are open to the sun. There is a lot of daylight. All our restaurants have daylight. So and this is actually a resemblance of Kohenur, the diamond which used to be. So the shape connects with the geometric diamond architecture.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. That is so interesting. Thank you. You've given a good account of your business and the hotel per se. Thank you, Jitendra. Sujeet, your first one on the GM show. You've recently
Yep.
returned to India after successfully launching the ITC Ratnadeepa in Colombo. Tell us, what global learnings are you bringing back to Bengaluru's luxury market, or may I say to India?
Okay, thanks, Bhuvanesh. It's an interesting question about what the global perspective is. I've been fortunate enough to sort of work across in multiple cities. I've worked twice in Indonesia, once in Philippines, twice in Sri Lanka. So I sort of have a fairly decent understanding about what we can do globally that we can bring back to our own country when we come back. Our experience includes ramp-up hotels, a hostile takeover, opening a luxury hotel. Every opening, every exposure overseas gives you a different kind of learning. Well, luxury is certainly very important, but what luxury means to people is also very different, right? For example, if you're looking at the hotel that we opened in Colombo, ITC did not have a foray at that time into Sri Lanka as yet. This was the first international hotel. So you're setting up the culture of the place. You're bringing in the great culture of ITC into that country, so people understand what is it that we actually can do for them at that point in time. I've seen transition to Hilton's flagship hotel in India. This is a dual brand 620 room hotel. And so the learnings are right across about what you can do from your past experiences. Something that I've noticed is that the service culture evolution from what it used to be to what it is now. Earlier, service used to be just like a delivery. You just need to get from give A to B and so on, just simple tasks. But nowadays, service plays a huge role in elevating a guest experience. It's different strokes for different folks. No one thing can be defined as saying this is what we should do. Yeah, we do have brand standards, but finally it's about customizing and personalizing stays to the guests that make it more either quicker or efficient. And training plays a huge role in doing this. We have high turnover. Let's face it. I mean, we do have high turnover in hotels as well, right across the industry. So training sort of becomes paramount to anchor people to deliver what is expected, and it has to be genuine and from the heart. Products hotel can be replicated, but a genuine service can't. I'll also sort of like to say that there's been an operational maturity from what I can see, from what we do overseas and what we can do over here, Bangalore is among the best luxury hotels anywhere in the country, and more coming up. So all of them sort of bring in their own level and class of service that is very discerning to the guests. We also sort of realize that across the years, there's been a shift in the guest expectations. The expectations shift depending on the trip persona. If they're coming for a business travel, they expect things to be a lot more efficient. If they're on a holiday, they want a little more relaxed. And what you realize across working certain countries is that sometimes you wish you could do a trade-off of efficiency with some hospitality. Some of them are great hosts, but they may not be very efficient. So how do you bring in the balance? A new trend for at least in us ecospace right now is towards sustainability. And Hilton has got a program saying travel with purpose, meeting with purpose, where guests are very concerned or like to know how they can have carbon neutral meetings, how they can offset some of the environmental impact that happens. So I think it's service in this kind of more about removing the clutter and sort of getting people to give them what they want. This is broadly speaking what I can say that has been my experience from working overseas and coming back for about 12 years I've been overseas. So this sort of gives me a slightly different perspective maybe.
Tell me, what is it that is happening in Sri Lanka in the luxury market, which is a takeaway for us, specific?
Sri Lanka is a broad market. If you look at it, broadly speaking, it's like a micro market. Colombo itself is a city, right?
Yeah.
The city's got its own share of traffic coming in, but it's more like a hub and spoke, right?
Yeah.
People don't spend more than 1.8 to 2 nights over there unless you're coming for a meeting or a conference,
It's
right?
a feeder,
People come there.
entry and exit.
It's a feeder. Yeah, you come, maybe you do 1.5 days sightseeing, you do some shopping, you go to the casinos and some great restaurants, but you move on down south, you go to the beaches, you go to hill country, you go to the wildlife sanctuaries, all within 2 hours of Colombo. So many people keep that as a base, but they do day trips and come back. But after 2-3 days, they all go to the beaches. It's a fabulous country. There's so much to offer.
It's so much to offer. I mean, if one was to see, it's a large country as compared to Delhi with almost 2/3 of its population.
Yeah, and so diverse, absolutely
And so
diverse.
diverse and so polite and naturally hospitable.
Yeah, you get very surprised how soon you get used to it, and when you come back, you realize there is a difference. Yeah,
It's a
so
complete sea change within 3 hours from Delhi.
yep,
Thank you, Sujeet. I'll pick your mind more on because we're going to do a show.
absolutely, my
All
pleasure.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your responses. Much appreciate.
Thank you.
Manish, over to you. You've been here now, how much? Saal ho gaya?
No, it's been 6 months.
6 months, can you imagine?
Thanks, guys.
I remember every time I would speak to Manish and his responses would be in French. Bonjour and I said, now you're here in Delhi, so that goes out of the window and it has. So tell me, every time I look at the Aerocity, I remember those times when people used to say, how will Aerocity survive with so many hotels? Now is a time when people say we need more space, and there is no more space, barring 2 large new assets which are coming in. Sanjay is going to be doing one, and Waldorf Astoria and Hilton is going to be another one. Tell me, Aerocity is one of India's most competitive hospitality clusters. There is no parallel to it, at least in India. How do Pullman and Novotel differentiate luxury and lifestyle in such a dense market?
No, absolutely right, Bhuvanesh. And I think Aerocity, to be very honest, is a very rare example in India where the capacity, the location, the brand diversity, everything comes together and actually creates a very competitive hospitality micro market. Within few hundred meters, if you are familiar with Aerocity, you will see one can actually choose from multiple global brand across various price points. And I think every hotel has to be sharply defined in its position, be it experience or even value proposition, to say that. And Sanjay, Gupta, welcome to this market as well, to Delhi and Aerocity both. I think the competition here is not just about room rates, to be honest. It's about the identity, it's about the consistency, and how clearly every hotel honestly is able to communicate its personality to the guest. Uh, I think in this environment, the advantages for us as Pullman and Novotel comes together from operating as a dual brand complex within this distinct micro market is well defined, and the identities rather than they overlapping each other. Pullman, to be very honestly, it is positioned as an upscale lifestyle brand built around design led experiences, spaces, and elevated dining experiences. And of course, meets today's business meets lifestyle traveler, uh, sophisticated energy and sense of global culture in the stays that Pullman has to offer. While on the other side, within the same complex, we have the Novotel, which is positioned around intuitive comfort, easy, balanced, much more relaxed, and very accessible at the same time, highly functional as a brand that offers both the business as well as the leisure travelers and families included. I think if you actually see, the experience is less formal but very strongly focused on smart design needs. I think what makes this different is the dense cluster in Aerocity, which has a clarity, and at the same time, most of the guests are traveled today, and they don't just choose hotel based on price or location, which is of course a need, but they also choose based on the kind of stay they want. So one brand for us offers a refined, design-driven lifestyle experience, while the other one is far more approachable and has global reliability. I think this combination of both have very strong identities and the power of a large integrated complex that helps us remain and relevant actually in one of the most high pressure hospitality environments. But having said this, operationally, I think it also allows us to leverage on the capacity of both hotels. One is a 400 keys, which is the Novotel, and the Pullman is 270 keys. The shared infrastructure, I would say, the wider choice of restaurants, even spaces, and most importantly, operational efficiencies managed by common leadership team, but having its distinct brand initiatives and narratives is what really makes us stand apart in this side of Delhi and Aerocity more specifically.
This one will go to both Sanjay and you. Is it a case of a commercial district? I mean, Aerocity is now a micro city, right?
Yeah.
Is the commercial district feeding the hotels, or are the hotels feeding a commercial district? Properly sandwiched between the commercial district and the airport lies this island. It's an oasis of hospitality. And it's become...
And to top it, you have a wonderful MICE destination opened right within the connectivity, and Yashubhumi has added on that additional flair to what this Aerocity needed.
And it's a destination in its own self.
And it's a destination itself. Very true.
I mean, every time people would say, "Yaar, kaun jayega Aerocity?" Now all the action is moved here.
Absolutely.
Right. Fantastic. So from you to Sanjay, thank you, Manish.
Okay.
Sanjay, tell me, you moved from a highly successful Sheraton Whitefield. I remember your days at the Meridian in Gurgaon, right, which you shepherded for a while, to pre-opening Delhi's largest convention hotel. What does grandeur mean when you're building nearly 550 rooms and over 120,000 square feet of banqueting from scratch? Correct my numbers if I've gone wrong somewhere. These are just mental recalls. I kept making notes when we were last speaking a few months ago.
So, Bhuvanesh, thank you so much for asking this question.
This is
And
the first time you called me Bhuvanesh in centuries.
you are
Calling has always
always
been Bhuvi.
you will always be fondly called as Bhuvi. So I'm not going to be very official and professional here.
Yeah,
So Bhuvi, thank you for asking this question. And before I start answering this, let me first thank the team who are behind your scene to orchestrate this show, including you.
absolutely.
Means a lot to all of us sitting over here and to our partners, Diversey. And they have been with us from the time I was in catering college, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for being the sponsors for this show. And having said that, Bhuvi, grandeur to me in literal term is large or impressive or maybe feeling important. And that's where it gets parked. Um, if you see, I'm going to, before I take on the other part of your question, I'm going to a little bit mull over the Aerocity question, which Manish also answered. Uh, I think we are in Aerocity going to, it's already changed the entire principles of economics. It's the demand, it's the supply which is generating the demand over there at this point of time. And I think when I say this, I say it with full conviction that there has been a supply and there is more supply which is required in Aerocity at this point of time because the demand is such.
True.
Now, when Marriott Marquis opens, so large format Marriott hotel is called the Marriott Marquis. It's little less than about 600 rooms and little less than it's about 2.10 lakh square feet of covered convention and banqueting space. Now, of course, the demands are there, but what we are doing is we are actually complementing every hotel. So the good part is that if a convention, which is an international convention or maybe an international association meet, which gets pitched to the country, I'm talking about the likes of SAARC Summit. I'm talking about the likes of G20. I'm talking about the likes of big medical conventions and conferences. We are here to complement every other hotel which exists in Aerocity. And that's exactly when I went to Bangalore 3 years back. I exactly did the same thing, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So let me just retract back 3 years. I've spoken to you about this. I want to speak to the larger audience over here. Is that what I did basically is that we have five Marriott hotels in Whitefield in Bangalore, where Sheraton Grand Whitefield, where I was till about last month, is. And we have about six other hotels with the likes of Taj and the Zuri and the Den and the other hotels. It's very simple. I collaborated with everybody and did a destination marketing. When Sheraton Grand pitches for a conference, I can give a space worth 2,000 people where it can be accommodated, and then another 1,000 can be accommodated in the ballroom and the convention center. So 3,000 people. So then we brought the scale of 3,000 people being accommodated in a conference venue. But where would that 1,500 to 2,000 room come from? Because the hotel only had 360 rooms, and that's where it worked. So we pitched together and we said that, hey, this is what is coming to the Whitefield, and we named the destination marketing. We did not name any hotel in that. In the brochure, every hotel was featured, the BIL was featured, the KTPO Exhibition Center was featured, every one was featured, but the name of the marketing campaign was Whitefield Reimagined, and everyone collaborated this way.
That's how it has to be.
It has to be. And I think because I have done this in a smaller format, it becomes extremely easy for me to do it in a larger format.
True.
And trust me, Aerocity, this 600 room coming up over here with the first convention space of 42,500 square feet pillarless hall, which can seat 4,000 people in a theater style. Another 50% of that 42,000 is the pre-function space. another hall with 26,000 square feet of space, which can seat easily 2,400 people with 50% space, which is the pre-function space. Entire space can be divided into 20 breakout venues. 2,000 people car parking space, 600 rooms for Marriott Marquis, another 190 rooms for St. Regis. The entire complex becomes a 800-room complex.
True.
Now, let me tell you the lucky factor. You know, this 2,000 rooms or 1,500 rooms or 1,000 rooms would be absolutely working in a jiffy, because when this conference and convention comes to our convention center, I think we have all our friends sitting in and around to do and welcome this big chapter conferences. Today, we do not have that scale in the country.
True.
And that is something which we are trying to bring. So grandeur is just a word, but collaboration means everything when we start the hotel. And that is what I'm here for, to answer the first part of your question, Bhubi.
Yeah. So that's a learning which can be brought to Aerocity. Tell me, Manish, after Marquis opens, how many rooms will Aerocity have?
So 800 for us.
Yeah. Manish, you're muted, I think. नहीं आवाज नहीं आ रही. नहीं, unmute करो.
Yeah.
बोलो.
Yeah.
Can hear, Manish.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with his inventory adding up to almost 800, we being close to 700, and another, I think every asset here, there are 11 assets here, and the typical inventory between all of them is 400 minimum. So you can imagine the number of rooms getting into
So we're talking of
Aerocity
almost
plus
6,000 rooms.
Yes, that's the scale that Aerocity has the capacity and capability to cater. And it just doesn't end with the opening of Sanjay's hotel. There is more coming up in Aerocity itself.
The
So
Waldorf
that's
complex
the
is coming,
kind
the
of
Waldorf Hilton. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You have a Taj coming up, and you look at it. This micro market is not going to be micro market anymore. And apart from hotels, the commercial office space from
The
almost
commercial district is huge.
yeah. It is getting there. You have
So,
more.
this could be serious competition to Bharat Mandapam and your Yashwabhumi and all that.
No, and Aerocity will no more be just a hub for hotels. It is already given part to commercial establishments to make their way here. And beyond this, now you'll have a huge mall and retail space also venturing into
True.
Aerocity. So this actually becomes like a smart city with an
Oh,
airport
absolutely. That's why I
within
called it a
the
micro
limits.
city. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sanjay.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Now, from one pre-opening to another, and I moved from Delhi to Mumbai, where Puneet Baijal is reopening the Hyatt Regency. Puneet, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So tell me, you're restarting the Hyatt Regency Mumbai after an ownership change, and refit is no small task between us. It takes a lot. It's easier to build a new hotel than to redo a hotel from the bone. How do you rebuild a luxury brand almost from zero?
So thank you. I second the thoughts of Sanjay, who started with complimenting your team. Coming to my question, I mean, as you rightly said, rebuilding is like, it's like a rebirth, in a way. And but what has changed from the time the Hyatt Regency used to exist is that the company Hyatt has grown multifolds. When we had opened Hyatt Regency for the first time way back in 2000s, and then now the company has grown 10 times then to its size. And what has changed is that there are multiple brands that the Hyatt has got. So now it's time for us to be brand led, and how a Regency brand will reposition itself in the country. This is going to be one of its kinds repositioning game that we're going to bring into this country with the Regency brand. The last Regency that opened was a few years ago, and then the latest Regency which has opened in Southeast Asia has been at Kuala Lumpur. And bringing the same modern, smart luxury into the system is what this restructuring of this brand is going to happen at Mumbai. Biggest advantage that we have, and the reason why we also retained this Regency brand, is its legacy. There are fond memories. I was doing some empathy conversations with some of our old guests, those who used to come to that asset, and it has been a phenomenal, response. Some legacy memories of people, those who would like to see this reopen. What has also changed is that we are going to look at fresh energy, building up a new team altogether. We are 50 Hyatt hotels now, so we have a lot of internal talents to kind of grow within the company. So that's also a great opportunity for people to come to Mumbai and show their strengths. Uh, from a market standpoint, what's changing, as you were just talking recently about Aerocity, I will take a clue from there, and Mumbai is no less becoming a mini Aerocity there. With the Fairmont opened up, with the Aureka having 600 700 rooms, and already existing the ITC, the JW Marquis, and the Leela. So I think this whole belt and Adani developing this central island with a huge convention center, the direction that Mumbai is going through in its subsegment and submarket towards this area is phenomenal. So, and the development that's happening around, especially with the commercial complexes coming up, shopping malls coming up in this area, is going to position Hyatt Regency at a luxury segment platform in its own. Most importantly, what we are changing is its F&B. It used to be a room-focused hotel when it was built initially. Now it is going to be repositioned completely dynamic in its food and beverage concept, which Hyatt is known for bringing in. So the way we are going to change this dynamic concept of moving away from an all-day dining is the first of its kind the country is going to experience from its conventional breakfast all-day dining restaurants. That concept is going to change. So, like this multiple things coming up, I don't want to talk more about it. Once we are closer to the opening, we're going to talk more. But yes, to rebuild this trust with guests and becoming brand led, going with the purpose of Hyatt, which is we care for people so they can be their best, is going to be our overarching strategy with which we're going to launch this hotel.
Excellent. And best wishes. In some manner, your part of the district is becoming like Delhi's Aerocity.
Yeah.
May not be as organized as that, because that's a complete plot which is subdivided. But thank you so much. Best of luck, Puneet.
Thank you.
I'll now fly across to Chennai. Sathya, over to you. Tell me, for aspiring general managers aiming to lead the next era of Indian luxury, what sorry, my apologies, I jumped. City center luxury demands speed, consistency, and emotional connection. How do you deliver grandeur in an urban high-pressure environment? Sathya, are you there?
Hi, Bhuvanesh, thank you. It was, as usual, wonderful to be on your show, and
Thank you so
you
much.
and your team are doing a great show. Season 4 is, looking fabulous.
Thank you.
So coming back to, the thing is, how do we deliver a grandeur in urban high-pressure environment? See, in the past, if you look at it like, the luxury in hospitality was defined by, space, chandelier, and opulence, the lobby and everything. But in today's, especially in a city center hotel, a luxury is defined by time or ease and recognition. I mean, this is what is very, very important, as most of the guests, they're not on vacation. Actually, if you are asking, they are on business and, they are into a meeting or, on a tight schedule. So grandeur in an urban hotel is definitely not slowing down the guests, but it's about making their life effortless. Again, the modern urban guests, they're well informed about the hotel and everything. So their day is structured, minute to minute is monitored. So here at Radisson, we expect them to have a seamless arrival experience in terms of instant allocation of rooms, especially for business people, without any friction. Like that is what they wanted. And more than them learning the hotel, we need to understand the guests, their requirement. So that will give us, an edge over other properties. So it's like, without guest asking twice, we should ensure like, we deliver things on time. And as the city hotels are not like a resort where, we can manage their experiences. But here, experiences are there, but it is defined with time. So, every minute, every hour is very, very important. Like again at Radisson, if you look at it, people, depart early in the morning and they look for something like, to grab and run and take on their way, or, being a meeting room setup and all that. So we'll make sure like, the express check-ins, express checkout, because everything, boils down to the time at the urban luxury, if you look at. So what we do here again, we empower the teams, make sure like the clear SOPs are followed, interdepartmental communications are maintained well. So everybody need to work like a unit here. The guest will experience the speed without seeing the effort. I would say like it should be a invisible efficiency. Is again is what modern luxury. Likewise, if you look at luxury today is not being treated importantly, but it is being treated personally, if you ask me. Remembering a guest, a flow preference as, their food choices or pillow menus, and, or even a simple thing like, they prefer the coffee or the emotional connection, because the time is very less and we have to connect with them so that, they feel they're at the right, the hotel. Or again, personalization will transform a transaction into a relationship, I would say. And likewise,
Thank you, Sathya. I'll have to take a quick commercial break and then come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
At Diversey, we believe it is our mission to protect and care for people and their environment every day. Pioneering future-focused cleaning and hygiene solutions. Trust the experts to select the best hygiene technology matching your site's challenges and your sustainability vision. Diversey, your global partner for responsible hygiene solutions.
All right. So we're now stepping into the second half, and this one's going to be shorter than the first one. So we'll have 2 minutes per speaker, per response. So back to you, Jitendra. Tell me, in today's luxury environment, what behind the scenes operational levers truly influence profitability beyond room revenues?
Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna, once again. So I think invisible operational practices are basically the disciplines that operate in the background, but they actually shape everything about the guest experience. They lead to loyalty, ultimately lead to profitability in the luxury space. Like ITC, Kohenur is able to get very high ADRs in the city. Therefore, for us, the strongest driver is product upkeep, and we follow it very sincerely by following a very tried and tested format. It's called the golden hour ritual, wherein all the heads of the department, they gather in the lobby at 9 a.m. in the morning, and we reflect on the upkeep and condition of the hotel. We check some rooms, we check public areas, periphery, touch upon finer points, etc. And this has helped us tremendously in maintaining our product and delivering the value for money that the guest expects from us. The second big one is processes. If the processes are well laid out, SOPs are there, then it leads to consistency in guest experience, and service excellence is delivered by design, not by just situation or by some star performer. And third one is people. I think employee engagement is big one for us. And if people feel respected, they feel included, and they're aligned to the hotel's goal, they are able to deliver the care and attention to a great level, which no SOP can actually script. And people feel that authenticity. They feel that authenticity, and this leads to loyalty, the reputation of the hotel, and obviously the profitability in the long run. So, in my view, product discipline, process discipline, and having a motivated team certainly forms the backbone of sustainable success in hospitality, luxury hospitality right now.
I couldn't agree more. Our focus has not got to be profitability, right? We should keep doing the right things, profitability, revenue, and a strong bottom line, which is profitability, will happen on its own. But you have to focus on the customer. You have to focus on service delivery and the product, right?
Absolutely.
And
I think it's the output.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you very rightly said, people. You're going to be like, I was even saying on one of the shows yesterday, you're going to be as good as the people you have.
Absolutely.
And our industry's problem is people. Thank you so much, Jitendra. Thank you so much again. Sujeet,
thank you, Mr. Khanna.
Thank you, sir. Sujeet, back to you. Tell me,
Right.
with talent gaps, I mean, I was speaking about people over here, with talent gaps widening across the industry, how can luxury hotels effectively attract, nurture, and retain the right people? The biggest bane of this industry is lack of talent development and attrition.
100% right. I'm saying as much as we have catering colleges and schools opening up, they sort of churn out the volume, but not necessarily the quality that you want. So I think whether you're in a luxury space or you're in the five-star space, I think definitely the war of the future is going to be on talent. So let me just try and keep it a little crisp and short in the interest of time. Culture as a currency, I think, is something that, and I'll speak for my current company right now, Hilton. In the last 3 years, we have been the best place to work for under the Great Place to Work survey. And it does not happen by accident, right? 3 years on the trot to get this award across all industries speaks volumes of the culture of the company itself. It stems from the fact that we definitely try to prioritize as much as we can growth from within. If you also look at the fact that we are right now on the runway of having currently maybe 35 hotels going up to 350 in the next 4 to 5 years. To happen, and there's no doubt about that it will happen, we obviously need talent. So growing talent in-house, of course, will be a priority, but you still have to attract talent from outside. Associate well-being, the plans that we have for looking after the team members, right from attraction, retention, and then making sure that we keep the attrition under control, something that we really, really focus on. To do that, we have pulse surveys. We do a quarterly check. We try to engage with the team members on a 30, 60, 90-day cycle when they join, because at least we see the fact that attrition is the highest probably at the lowest levels and in the first 6 months to a year. If you're able to sort of stem that, we are able to sort of make sure that the person stays with us in the long run. Next point is probably giving people a clear career path, right? Gen Z aspirations, they want instant gratification. They're saying, I did a great job yesterday, am I getting promoted next month? It doesn't quite happen that way as much as maybe you'd like to do it sometimes. So managing the career aspirations, nurturing the talent. For tools, we have something called the Hilton University, where people can go online, do research and studies on the topics that we want them to develop the skill on, or if they have a personal interest, to develop skills that they are interested in. We have a buddy program for each new employee comes in. We attach a more seasoned team member to be with him. We have mentorship. We have fast track programs. So we identify talents. Somebody who says done 6 months, 1 year, he's got tremendous talent. We put him on a fast track, so he gets to be an executive faster. So not everybody goes through this 1 year, 18 months, 24.
You
You
know,
prove your mettle, you can jump.
We've got to have a keen eye and pick up the stars early.
Right, absolutely.
And also,
Right.
you know, obviously somebody mentored us. I think it's time for us to mentor people. And let's not
Give
wait
back.
let's not wait for the mentees to come to us. We have to go to them.
That's correct, absolutely true. And I think it boils on the fact that we also have a management training program, but we need to be accessible to people. Leadership to be accessible, to be walking around, to be seen, having the conversations in the cafeteria, one-on-one sessions that we have with the team members. Those go a long way in sort of opening up the fact that they can come and talk to us, and we can probably help them a lot more in case we're able to do that. So yeah, I think mentorship program is something that has been personally been very effective, and I think we should be continuing doing that to retain our talent.
Couldn't agree more. And I think we also need to be approachable. People should not
Yes.
be scared of coming near us. I mean, we're not a live
Yes, I
wire
think
that they'll touch us, they'll die. No, that approach doesn't work.
those things are long gone. I think where the gym used to be unapproachable and just come in the
Absolutely.
morning, go in the evening. I think the changing, the evolving GM has long since come.
You know, one hand on their shoulder and transferring to them what we mean, in a manner of, can I help you?
Yes.
Can I be a mentor? Is good enough.
Right.
Thank you so much, Sujeet. Pleasure
My
hearing
pleasure
you.
entirely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What you've said is
Thank you.
extremely valuable. Manish, can you imagine I'm back to you?
Yes.
So tell me, looking ahead, let's talk about a 5-year window. If you were to reimagine Indian luxury from the ground up, what core shifts would you introduce? I mean, you've done the Sofitel, you've done Hyderabad, you've done this, you've done it all. And you come from Goa, which is naturally the hospitality capital of India after Rajasthan, or maybe along with Rajasthan and Kerala.
No, I think, Bhuvanesh, what I see is that the Indian luxury in the next 5 years, I think we'll see a tremendous shift. And I think the shift will be less about excess and more about meaning. It's no more going to be the price that will decide on the luxury or the extravagance, but I think this is going to be measured purely now on the basis of how thoughtfully a stay is designed around the guest. I think the most important part for us is to continue to adopt and utilize technology that will help us understand the guest preferences far more deeply than where we understand today. It will move towards maybe including room settings, dining choices will continue to be there. I think wellness habits are very, very important. And most importantly, the pace at which the guest likes the experiences as a destination. I think this is where it will move. The second shift that I see will be more on cultural and experiential authenticity. I think Indian travelers are far more aware, very, very curious, and more traveled than anybody else. They are looking for stories and not just probably the space. I think the third thing, and I think all of us will believe here in this forum and the audience as well, that it will all be about the blending of business, leisure, and lifestyle. Because none of us, even though we may be at leisure or we may travel outside our workspace, but we all know that we don't give up on our work. And I think that traditional boundaries are kind of dissolving. We have to understand the modern luxury guest probably may work in the morning, may utilize a wellness or a spa in the afternoon, and probably in the evening host a social dinner in the same property. And we need to be ready for this change. You people expect responsible luxury. You can't shy away from there. So I think it has to be delivered with conscience, and most importantly, the stronger element and emphasis will always remain on space, privacy, and emotional comfort will take the top seat in this shift. And I think for me, it will be less about grandeur in the traditional sense, but has to be all about intelligence, authenticity, responsiveness, and the emotional connection that I just spoke about. And that is what I see the shift and the move of the luxury trends and where actually Indian luxury is heading towards.
Couldn't agree more, Manish. Couldn't agree more. I think extremely valuable. Sanjay,
Thank
you
you.
know, from Manish to you, when managing large format hotels, which performance indicators matter most today beyond traditional RevPAR benchmarks, or what do you have?
Good question, Bhuvi. Thank you so much for asking this. I think there's no benchmark which matters the most. I think the answer is that every benchmark matters. RevPAR matters as much as the GOP. The GOP matters as much as your top line. The top line matters as much as your guest voice. The guest voice matters as much as your sustainability, and sustainability matters as much as your technology. So I think we as hoteliers are pretty much always been not master of one, but champion for all. Now, let me put a perspective over here as to how do you, if I make a statement that everything matters, whatever I just said, from a RevPAR to GOP to top line to the guest voice to people to sustainability to technology, it is extremely important to understand that not only in luxury format, not only in the larger format, not only the bigger scheme of affairs, for everything what you do boils down to the core value and the culture. If you get that right, I think you become champion for everything. And let me here put forward the way Sujeet puts it forward really very well when he was talking about people, and so was Manish. The core value or the pillars in which the Marriott culture stands, and if I can manage to perfect the art, I think I become the champion of everything. So let me take you one by one. Putting people first is the first foundational belief of Marriott International, that investing in associate caters exceptional guest experience, takes care of your guest voice, takes care of your guest, takes care of your associates. Pursuing excellence, a dedication to high quality service, meticulous detail, and a do whatever it takes approach will take care of your services. You know, embrace the change which comes to you, a commitment to innovation and anticipating evolving guest needs. So very important. Acting with integrity, where you should have your high ethical standards in doing any sort of a business dealing, and serve our world, which is another core value for Marriott. A focus on sustainability, community, and social engagements. Now, whatever I said, this, if you tie and stitch it back to the RevPAR, the GOP, the top line, the guest voice, the sustainability, the technology, and anything what you think about, if you perfect the art and if you manage to put the right Marriott culture, everything automatically Bhuvi falls in place.
True.
And this is the absolute bottom line. If
Couldn't
you
agree more.
if you're good with your culture, if you are able to imbibe that into the 1,000 people which we are going to recruit, I think you will slowly champion everything without even an iota of doubt.
Oh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And coming from you, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
one question to Sanjay and Puneet. You guys are in formal jackets. Do you wear this these days when you're opening?
No,
So this is
I'm so happy to be wearing my jeans and my sneakers, t-shirt,
yeah.
not needed to be tucked in.
I asked Sharad Datta the same thing. He's opening the Ritz-Carlton in Mumbai, so he was on my show yesterday. Thank you. So that was on a lighter note, with all respect. Puneet, back to you. Short, quick answer. How do you enable frontline teams to deliver emotionally resonant luxury experiences without compromising operational rigor?
So I think about people's importance, our colleagues have already spoken quite a lot. I would resonate and second what they said, but not repeat.
Yeah,
So I would like to take a step ahead. What's changing in today's dynamics is the technology. Hyatt has always been an advocate of using technology. Nowadays, our internal Hyatt platforms are quite rigorous, AI enabled, and the internal search engines of Hyatt gives you certain platforms that you learn video based training quite a lot. So the onboarding system that's going to be adapted will be first of its kind in our country for Hyatt Regency in Mumbai, wherein the onboarding process, which is a 90-day process, is going to be as per the person's job description. And you enter your job description, and then you get the correct answers of all questions you have. You input a question like a chatbot, and you ask that, okay, this is what I want to know, and you get the answer. So use of technology over your mobile phone or over intranet of a hotel company will give these younger generation Gen Zs more approachable right answers rather than asking somebody and getting a wrong answer or not getting a satisfactory answer. So that is something which is unique that's coming up. Second, what's going to happen is that what's not going to go away is your leadership, which is walk the talk.
true.
People put trust in people, right? And robots, I mean, they are not humans at the end of the day. The emotions are not there, and our industry is highly emotional. So what we always talk about in a trust-based leadership is your emotion quotient and your passion quotient combined together is always greater than an intelligent quotient.
True.
So that's what EQ plus PQ is greater than IQ is the equation with which we kind of lead our training philosophy. And how we want to approach this is that, like, they look up, say, if I'm the leader of the pack, they would look up to me. Okay, he's the general manager, he has done 2 3 openings, and he's my director of rooms, he's my director of F&B. And when this team combines together, as Jitendra was talking about, going into the lobby in the morning, having that round, be showing up, and showing up is the biggest uh, old school hospitality which will always remain. And then with technology combining together, right, they will have this ability to take decisions, right? Music is too loud, music is too low. They don't have to go and ask. So that kind of ability of having a pre-opening experience with which the people want to, get more time to get onboarded, more time to get trained, and that will build the culture of the system. And then we will operate, with the highest purpose by investing in our people, investing in the governance. And it's not like a discretionary spend. It's like a capital preservation, It's measured, it's Hyatt aligned, guests will like it, and then it will accelerate, the bottom line, the cash flow, the recovery, the ADR, all of that will come because of its people who are going to provide the decent service in the system. So, in the paucity of time, I would like to sum up by saying this, that these are the 4 factors of onboarding AI, trust-based leadership, and giving this onboarding process a time and walk to the talk is going to make the difference in our grandeur of building this luxury hospitality.
Thank you so much. That's so valuable. So valuable. Happens when you've led luxury hotels over the years. Thank you so much, Puneet. We'll see
Thank
more of your hotel soon,
Yes,
as
indeed.
I shall see others, and Sanjay especially, and then
No.
over to Sujeet. Now, as it happens with the last speaker, we're barely, able to keep our back away from the wall. We're 5 minutes over time, and I must cap the show within 2 minutes. because the next show has to come live. Sathya, sorry for this, but tell me, for aspiring general managers aiming to lead the next era of Indian luxury, what capabilities will be most critical? Let's get 3, 4, 5 bullet points from you for want of time.
Okay. See, basically, the future leader should be either first, he should be a people-oriented people, and also, the financial acumen is very, very important. Understanding the business prospect of it, and to, as everybody mentioned, the top line, bottom lines are very, very important. And at the same time, handling the team. Team is very, very important. Connecting with the team emotionally. So at the end of the day, with all that, the guest experiences will definitely flow through. So, all these, are the basic things which they need to, invest. And more importantly, as Sujeet said, there is no hurry. People need to have, a little more experience so that, the proper, deliverance would be available for them in the, the near future. So that is how I look at it, as we lack of time, I don't wanted to, go much more in detail or depth for now. So, but these qualities are very, very essential for the future general managers for this industry.
Thank you so much, summary. Now, Satya, now I'll get down to the summary. I'm being pushed by my team. Jaldi karo.
Okay.
No, don't worry. It happens. I mean, I'll have to turn around fast. So, we've first of all, thank you all so much. Let me try and summarize this. You get a little ruffled when times run out and you have to cap the show. Jitendra showed us how F&B and experiential revenue are redefining hotel grandeur. And running the Kohenur, he knows best. Sujeet brought global learning into India's evolving luxury mindset. He's done it all over the world. He's done it in Indonesia, Colombo, everywhere. Manish highlighted lifestyle differentiation in hyper-competitive markets. He's done it all, and now he's lording over a large hotel. Sanjay shared insights on building mega luxury destinations from ground up. And of course, it'll be 700 rooms for both the hotels combined.
778.
770. Jesus Christ.
778. Almost.
778. 777 bhi nahi karna. And Puneet spoke about resurrecting brands and rebuilding trust. Sathya has reminded us that city luxury is about speed, soul, and consistency. What clearly emerges is this: India's new luxury is built on people, process, profitability, and purpose. Grandeur today is emotional, operational, and deeply experiential. Like Sanjay, Puneet, and all of you said, we must thank Diversey and Team BW and BW Hotelier. It's not easy to bring out every episode. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of mind and sweat doing the content. Getting in these general managers to the show from their busy schedules is not easy. But thank you all for being there. Thank you, Diversey. Let me begin with the ones who've come in for the first time. Sujeet, thanks a pile for being there. To one of my oldest partners on the show, Sanjay, Manish, Puneet, right, Jitendra, last but not the least, Sathya. Thank you so much. Sathya, I was unfair to you. I had to rush through.
I know.
Maybe this time, my apologies, hand-folded apologies.
The first one to accept your invitation.
All right, so I'll be back in 21 minutes again with the next show. Be there, watch us, and encourage us. Thank you, gentlemen, and the Diversey
Thank
video
you.
before I close.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, just stay there.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Just stay there.
At Diversey, we believe it is our mission to protect and care for people and their environment every day. Pioneering future-focused cleaning and hygiene solutions. Trust the experts to select the best hygiene technology matching your site's challenges and your sustainability vision. Diversey, your global partner for responsible hygiene solutions.
Thank you again. Bye-bye. God bless you. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh. Thank
And
you.